Armati, oh forti miei soldati, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, tutti venite armati, oh forti miei soldati, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la. Io son di vita amore, giusto settatore, non temete punto, ma in belle schiera uniti, me seguitate arditi.
For the next stage of our Madrigal history tour, we are going to the heart of the most powerful empire of the 16th century, Spain.
La tricotea, San Martín la Bella, abres un poco al agua y se señalea. La boca sembrata, la señal dulce affire, gente di gusto al mondo spessa la bottiglia plena, dama chi mena, zera lì la pena, ogni zeri comanda, manzelli, zera liven, potravi contrariven, niki niki, don formaggi, don, io soy monachea, de que correra, dama por amor, la mea, dama yo la mea.
That joyous celebration of love, La Tricotea, has brought us to Salamanca in the heart of Spain. There had already been an important town here for many hundreds of years before the Romans ever built this bridge across the river Tormes. After the Romans, it was the Moors who lived here until they were finally driven out in the 12th century, and most of the town dates from after that time. It's a beautiful city that has grown up around its twin cathedrals and 3 universities. It's said of Salamanca that everything and everyone passed through here at some time or other, so it's an ideal place to start this program. Each of the streets off this main square leads to a feast of sights and treasures, but to my mind, one of the most beautiful is the convent of the Duenas, still used by the Dominican order. It's here in its serene patio that we'll sing our next song. It's Din Din Din, which imitates the sound of the bells. Like much of the music in this program, it's a villancico from the Palace Songbook, a collection of popular tunes made into courtly pieces for King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. This one tells the story of a young woman who goes out into a meadow early one morning to send a nightingale, a ruiseñor, to her lover with a message. Tell him, she says, that I can no longer see him because I am now married.
Din 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 da ya din 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 da ya din din din. Je me levai un bel matin, mattinata per la prata. Encontré el ruiseñor que cantaba sola rama din din din. Din 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 da ya din din din. Encontré el ruiseñor que cantaba sola rama. Ruiseñor, ruiseñor, facte mea che sta imbaxata din din din. Din 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 da ya din din din. Ruiseñor, ruiseñor, facte mea che sta imbaxata. Digalo à mon ami que je ya son maritata din din din. Din 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 da ya din din din. Din 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 da ya din din din.
A unique feature of Salamanca is its pair of cathedrals built side by side. In most places, the earlier building would have been pulled down to make way for the new, but not here. The older cathedral was begun in the 12th century, shortly after the city was won back from the Moors. Its thick walls and towers make it look like a fortress, which indeed it was more than once, The mayor used to shelter in the tower during sieges. The new one was started 3 centuries later in 1513 and seems to express the growing self-confidence of the nation which had, so few years before, opened up the seaways to the New World. Some people see its silhouette as ranks of knights with their lances held proudly aloft. The man who showed the way to the New World is remembered here. Christopher Columbus, it said, held long and heated arguments about the route to the Indies in the nearby monastery of Saint Esteban. Wherever you go in Salamanca, you come across churches, palaces and houses from this period, which are richly decorated in what's called the Plateresque style. These lavish and intricately decorated facades, so finely chiseled in stone, reminded people of the work of silversmiths or plateros. The song we'll sing as we look about the old city is De los Alamos. The words are those of a young girl who has returned from a meeting with her lover and tells her mother how the poplar trees under which they met swayed in the breeze. That villancico by Juan Vázquez, called De los Alamos, has brought us to one of the most splendid of all the Plateresque facades, not just in Salamanca, but in all of Spain. It is on the main building of the Papal University, which is amongst the oldest universities in the world. It was founded in the early 13th century and was the first to have a chair of music. Oxford, for instance, didn't have one until 2 centuries later.